The biggest stars of stage and screen can be seen right here on the Suncoast, and you can see them at the renowned Van Wezel Performing Arts Center. Executive Director Mary Bensel is here to tell us about the rest of this season and what we can look forward to for next year. So welcome, Mary.
Thank you.
Before we start, this has been a big week for Van Wezel in the news, so we have to ask, you know, with the Bayfront project, what does the Van Wezel want?
Well, what we really would love is a new performing arts hall, because so many people have talked to us about there's no center aisle, and for us, so many of the mechanical systems are a major issue. But the Van Wezel has been a gorgeous staple on the Suncoast for such a long time that we would love a new performing arts hall, but we want to find a way to honor the Van Wezel. So we sort of want our cake and eat it too.
That's
you know,
okay. Well, you mentioned to us before that there are shows that you can't bring here.
Absolutely.
Because of the limitations of the facility. We don't want that. We
no,
want the shows.
We want the shows.
Yeah.
In Phantom of the Opera, the chandelier cannot fall because our ceiling's too low. And I tell you, we're having quite a time getting Lion King into the building because it's such a huge show.
The costumes are huge.
Sure. And all of the, you know, the walkways and things like that. So we want an experience for people. We want people to come and enjoy the theater, spend a day with us, not just come see a show and leave.
Well, they certainly are going to do that. They're going to have an experience this coming season. This is, you just had your season announcement a couple weeks ago. Great feedback so far.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk the Broadway tours, because you got some amazing things. You mentioned Lion King.
Yes.
This is a big get.
This is a huge get. I've been working on this for almost 5 years. It is the most popular show in the entire world. And we had a young actress who plays Rafiki in the tour come at our announcement, and she sang The Circle of Life, and she got the key to the city from the mayor, and she cried on stage. She was so touched. They have a clause in the Julie Taymor's contract that they have to be so many of the performers from South Africa. And so she was so touched, and she can't wait to come back. And they called me from Disney and said this was the warmest welcome any city has ever given to the Lion King. So that was really special.
And it's a great get for us too that you have them here for weeks.
3 weeks. It's 3 weeks. It's the first time we have ever had a multi-week engagement. And what we've been trying to do is build up to a full week market, and to have one of the biggest blockbusters in the world it's just beyond exciting for me. And it'll be here all March.
I'll put in my plug.
There you go.
If you have not seen The Lion King
or if you have,
and even if you have, it is absolutely breathtaking.
Whether you have children or not.
Yeah, this is not a children's show, and I mean it is, but it doesn't have to be.
What a great tweet. Congratulations. Thank you for all your hard work to get a long run like that. Cinderella the musical.
Cinderella is one of the great Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals that we're having. And you know what they told us? Glass slippers are so back in. So, so I can't wait for that. It is beautiful.
And it's the classic musical a lot of people saw on television with Julie Andrews, Leslie Ann Warren, and then was made into a stage musical later.
And it was so beautiful on Broadway. When she changes from Cinderella into the princess, it is a moment of theater magic.
Every little girl gasps. And the grown-up girls.
I do. I want to be Cinderella myself.
Another great musical everybody's excited about is Something Rotten. This was a big Tony winner.
It was a Tony winner, and it is a new Sarasota premiere. And it's a very funny show, especially if you love the theater, because it's about two brothers that they want to beat that rock star of the time, William Shakespeare, and write the next great play. Well, what happens is they go to a soothsayer, and he says the next big thing is going to be musicals. And then they're like, musicals? He goes, I see singing cats.
I love it.
So it's all about welcoming back to the Renaissance, doing musical. It's great fun. I loved it.
I've heard the humor is compared to the producer's musical.
It is very much.
Kind
it's
of
that bada bing. Oh, it's wonderful.
Oh, what a great show. Another one, there's so many in the Broadway series to talk about, but the Rent. It's an anniversary tour.
It's a 20th anniversary tour, and we were talking about the fact that every 10, 20 years comes along a show that breaks the mold. Rent did that. I think we've seen Hamilton do that. Back in the day, Showboat did that. And so we're so glad it is and I hear you have not seen it yet.
I have not. So this is my first purchase, will be the Rent tickets.
Great show, and I'm glad that the next generation still enjoys the music.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
my teenagers know the music.
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice one. And then On Your Feet. There's a lot of Gloria Estefan fans down here.
Yeah, so and I'm one of them. And I saw it on Broadway. Gloria and Emilio, Emilio is so lovely. This is the story of their love story. It's also the tale of her rise and how he got her to be the star that she is. And of course, there was that pivotal moment in her career when she was hit by, in that bus
Right.
accident.
Right.
And so that's all in the show. And this is going to be here the week after Christmas. And so you'll get to be on your feet. And at the end of the show, the entire audience rocks the theater.
Oh,
it's
this is
fantastic.
You forget how much great music that she has.
She had
with
so
the Miami
much.
Sound Machine.
She did.
How do you choose shows? I know everyone
Yeah.
always asks you that. How does it work to get them here?
Well, first for us, because we're not a producing company, we're a presenting company, it's what's on the road. So I have friends who have been agents for many, many years, and I call them up and then I find out what do they have in their stable. And then it becomes this huge checkerboard because, of course, I try to fit in our local arts groups and then I book around it. And so, we have in the past not been doing these full weeks. Well, now that we're doing the full weeks, it becomes a challenge because I have so many dates with the Sarasota Orchestra. And then, of course, many times I get blocked by Tampa, which has a larger theater than us. That's another reason we need a new performing arts hall because we don't have enough seats to support the cost of these big musicals.
Sometimes you can't bid on a musical because it's too close to us coming to Tampa.
Exactly.
But yet we don't want to drive to Tampa to see it.
We do
We'd
not.
love to see it right here.
We want it, and sometimes they make the comment that we're the bedroom community of Tampa, and I say that is not true.
No.
And so I want to bring all that to you. So I'm working.
And it makes a season like this so much more impressive that you got it all in on the calendar.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about some of your classical
Sure.
concerts. You have great choices, but the Boston Pops is coming.
It is coming, and this year is so special because it's the music of John Williams. And you might remember, he wrote some fantastic scores, Star
I love
Wars,
John
E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It was our childhood.
Oh my gosh, And
There was a great tribute to him, I think, on the Oscars this year, right? And every song had
it's
the
just,
audience on their feet.
it's overwhelming. And then another huge orchestra is coming as well, Joey. The Israel Philharmonic Orchestra, the IPO as it's like to call it, is the biggest orchestra in Israel. And Zubin Mehta, it is his last conducting.
So many shows. We're only touching on a few.
Yep.
As far as dance goes, you're bringing Palabolis, which we might, if you don't recognize the name, you'll recognize their work.
Yes, this is Shadowland 2. They did this massive work called Shadowland, and we had it several years ago, and this is the second one. And they work with puppets, they work with shadow imagery.
Wow.
They are so inventive. I don't know how people do this.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And then for a little bit of a
Juxtaposition.
different take on dance, Le Ballet de Trocadero. This is a drag ballet.
Yes, this is all male dancers, and they're performing on point. And the funniest story we had was we have all these shows up on our website, and I got a call from the Trox manager, and they said, you have a picture of the Russian National Ballet ballerina as the ballet Trox. Could you please change it? I'm sure that beautiful ballerina doesn't want to be associated with us.
Hysterical.
So this is just a taste of what's coming. There's so many more shows, and this season isn't even over.
No.
Mary has told us a chorus line is coming on tour. Yanni is still coming. Yo-Yo Ma tonight.
Yo-Yo Ma.
Bill Engvall, the comedian that
Sunday.
everyone knows. So there's still so many great shows still happening. You got to go to the website, vanwezel.org. Get your tickets. You can get a subscription for next season right now, and then single tickets will go on sale later. All right. Coming up next, we're going to step inside the Suncoast Boat Show with a tour of a luxury yacht.